Hi, I'm Chandler Dean. I'm a freshman here at the Honors Program at Lincoln Center, and I'm here with the director of the Honors Program, Frank Boyle. Thank you for doing this interview. Now, if we could just get started with a quick overview of what students do here at the Honors Program.
Well, the thing that makes the program so distinctive is that we have a specialized core curriculum that allows students to do a traditional Jesuit education core curriculum at a very advanced pace. And that means that they get this intense experience of the core curriculum, but they get very quickly into advanced courses they want to take. So one of the interesting things is a lot of times in first semester of freshman year, a student will be taking a course at a level that's in a major he or she might want to do. So that's how it begins, and then it blossoms into all these different activities. I have students doing everything from making feature-length films for their thesis to studying the significance of bread in Morocco and how that influences culture. So the range of things is what determines it as the program goes on.
So that's what I was going to bring up. It seems to me that in the Honors Program, the best opportunities for creativity come with the senior thesis and then the junior year project. Could you go into a little more detail about what juniors do?
Well, a lot of juniors do study abroad, and that doesn't just mean the traditional things everybody thinks of. I have a student this year who's at Oxford, full year doing the tutorial system as an Oxford student. It's an amazing thing she's doing. But last year I had a student who didn't opt for any of the traditional study abroad programs, but spent a full year studying philosophy in Germany with German students, not with a study abroad program, in a regular college in Germany studying philosophy. I had two students last year who studied in China, students who studied in Morocco, I was mentioning before, and in India and the Netherlands, for example. So we have students all over the place doing study abroad. And then we have students who don't study abroad who do other things. For example, sometimes the natural science students do research with professors. I have a student in economics right now doing a research project in economics with one of the economics professors about some issue with the Federal Reserve that I don't actually understand, but an incredibly detailed, high-level, independent research directly with a professor. The other thing that students do in junior years are internships. Actually, students in the honors program get to do internships when they're ready to do them. It's not quite as limited as in the regular. And I've had students do internships in almost every imaginable area, from writing. I have a student who is at this point a senior who's a professional journalist, but he started by doing an internship with Spin magazine, and that has turned into essentially his career. So it's an example, but we have students doing internships in all kinds of fields.
So then when they're done with their junior year, they do the senior thesis. Could you go over what they do starting from getting it approved all the way to when they do their final presentations?
In the fall semester, we offer a workshop for students who, some students in some areas, in some fields, they'll have a workshop in their major, and they might start working on their thesis through their major, where students aren't doing it in their major, and honor students have the option of doing their thesis in their major or in some other area. We have a workshop where students can do everything from brainstorming the project at the beginning to setting up schedules and doing drafts in the fall. And then through the course of into the spring, they refine the project and have it work with the professor to have it approved and then do a final presentation. And actually that's coming up right now. We're kind of excited about it. Tomorrow we have a full day of final presentations for students in the honors program.
How did you become involved in FCLC's Honors Program?
Professor Mannion, who is the person who our main room is named after and was a kind of guiding spirit to the honors program. She drafted me to teach a freshman English course, and I was smitten. I had the group of 16 students, were very interested, excited, and extremely well prepared. So I didn't spend a lot of time doing preliminaries. I was able to go right into what I thought of as very advanced work for undergraduates from the beginning. It was so exciting, and then seeing those students grow. One of the things about our honors program that is unique, as far as I know, is the freshman advisor stays with the students through all 4 years. So I get to follow those students through their 4 years, and what that doesn't usually happen in college. You meet your majors, and you get to see them over a number of years, but with that class, I was able to have, there were a couple English majors, but there were students in the natural sciences, there were students in political science, students I wouldn't get to follow. I got to follow right through senior year, and I loved that, and I still love that about the program.
So you've addressed this a little bit already, but I just want to ask, what do you think differentiates Fordham's honors program from honors programs at different universities?
I don't think there's anything quite like it, and there are two things that make that particularly dramatic. What's distinctive. One is, for a variety of reasons, one of the things where we are at Lincoln Center, space limitations and all that, we decided to have this program where we only accept 16 students to the program, it's 16, 17, right around there, every year. And so it's one group that is that size, with each seminar tailored for that group. So that size makes it a very intense and it has been extremely cohesive group of students. The other part that makes it unlike any other program is that we're a block from Central Park. And we give every honor student a museum pass. And I say, you're closer here to more world-class museums than any place, any college, any campus in the country. And so you're at this incredible location with this very tight group of students that you know very well as being in this relatively small college in Manhattan, and you have the opportunities of really the greatest city in the world.
Since you've been director, has anything changed in the honors program in the last few years, and are there any changes coming up as well?
I mean, we're always making some changes. There are a couple dramatic things. Well, actually, start with one that I think is we have this amazing natural science course that really is itself. You could make the argument that our program is unique just based on it, because I don't know of any other natural science course quite like it. And it's on our website, so the details of it could, if somebody wanted to look at that in more detail, could see it. But we added specifically a math component to that, and at least initially, the feedback I'm getting from it is students like that, and it helps for certain qualifications for prestigious honors in the future and that kind of stuff, to have the math built into that course. But the most dramatic thing that's new in the program is starting next year, starting in the fall, we have a new arts course in the honors program, which will be conducted entirely at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So the 16 students in the class will meet at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, no slides, none of the traditional things that you have in an art history course, and they'll do the history of art from the collection of the museum with one of our professors who's a fellow of the museum. So it's a course that I want to take. And I think it'll be amazing, a new part of the program.
And last but not least, where do you see Fordham's honors program in 10 years?
What I'd like to do is take the energy of that art history course I just described and say, with every course we teach, how could we make this the idea of the course that I'd like to teach in English, or the course I'd like to teach in philosophy? I'd like to take that energy and do it for all of our courses. And I think to some extent we're on that line, but I'd like to push it as far in that direction as possible.